Hey Gwen, it's Penelope Parker. It's been a long time since my last entry to you, and I just knew that it would just be one more time to talk to you like this, and that's a lot. That's scary because I don't know. I know you weren't there, but for the longest time, talking to you in this way, with video messages, and for that with your voicemail, I couldn't talk to anyone else. And like, this is what made me not, completely crack. It was how I was able to vent and be okay. And I found some other ways to be okay that I'll tell you about in a minute, but it just feels so weird to stop this one, and it feels like it's time. It feels healthy, but it just feels like it's become a part of me. Like if something was going wrong, I could just talk to you about it, and it's not you. And it's definitely been a crutch that's allowed me not to talk to other people about things. But maybe it wasn't positive, but it did help me be as okay as I could be in that time. So it's just, we would just say goodbye to that, and in that way you like, really weird. But it feels like it's time too, because like I told you, I did talk to Aunt May, and it was so scary because you were the only one that knew, and then you died. So for me, that meant I could never tell anyone else. And then she found out, and I freaked out. And I just stopped everything. I stopped being Spider Girl. But then the city was hurting, and I was hurting because I could help and I wasn't. And I just knowing that Uncle Ben would be so ashamed of me. I couldn't keep being a coward, and I was. Couldn't stop just running away from talking to someone who loved me. So I did, and she has been so great and helpful. And like, of course she has been. She's Aunt May, but she hasn't tried to get in the middle of a fight. So she's been safe, and that was obviously my biggest fear. And she hasn't, like, she knows how much Spider Girl helps people, so she hasn't had me stop or tried to get me to stop. I mean, she couldn't because I'm 22 now, but in high school, I guess that was more of a valid fear. But she's just been there, and if I need to talk to her, I can, and I try to make sure that it's not too much. I ask her, and she seems okay. Like, it's not too heavy for her, and I mean, she's worried, obviously, but she's been going to therapy for a while, and she finally got me to go to therapy too, and that's been helping a lot. Turns out it's actually helpful to talk about your traumas with professionals. Who would have guessed? The first couple times I just I didn't like it. I felt like I was broken because I would talk to my therapist and then I would leave and I wouldn't even make it out. I would have just shut the door and then I would just like have an anxiety attack and a panic attack and all of these feelings, and I would just cry and it just wouldn't stop, and that didn't feel normal because I was just crying in there with her, and it was just so much that I kept on for years, and I mean, of course there was so much, but at that point I didn't know how much, and so that happened like the first month. But it's been getting a lot easier, and I've been doing a lot better, and I mean, like, I don't know, I've kind of always had this pain and this anxiety in my chest, and it's still there, but it doesn't hurt as much as it did, and it doesn't feel like I'm going to explode all the time, which is crazy, because I thought that was just, like, how everyone felt, but apparently not. I guess there was, like, a lot that I hadn't with my parents and Uncle Ben and you, and the fallout with, well, Spider-Girl and Harry, and then cutting off, Penelope from Penelope's friends. It's weird to, like, have to, like, separate Spider-Girl and Penelope, but with, I was just all alone, and that didn't help. The pain just made it worse, and now I have Aunt May, and I have to be a little smart with how I talk to my therapist, but I have her too, and it's been really helpful, and I've gotten closer with Mary Jane, our friendship, and this was actually the big reason I decided to finally talk to you. I trust Mary Jane, and it's scary, but I think I'm going to try to let someone else in too. I think I'm going to tell her, and it is scary. But it was scary with Aunt May, and it's been okay. It's been better than I thought it could be, and all of my fears and all my worries, they were just fears and worries, and they didn't happen, and I'm going to tell her what happened with you, and I'm trusting her to trust me when I'm Spider-Girl, and to not try to jump in, and we're not in high school, so I think I'm going to trust her to be an adult too, and yeah, I'm going to try to make steps to not do what I was doing, and to not just be alone all the time, and I can't get close to someone if they don't know half of who I am. I know that now. So I'm going to try this and see how that goes, and that's scary is not a big enough word. But it also feels right. Sorry, Emmy's coming out of her room. And I'm opening to people, and I think that's why I'm ready to let you go in this way. 1 second. I have to go. I will always love you, and thank you. I know this isn't you, but